Chrissy, I believe you're using some AI. In fact, you're even coming up with an AI avatar, correct?
Correct.
I should, because I would come up with something smarter and better looking. This week, we're going to talk about AI, because if you're not using it, you should be. And if you are using it, you could very well be using it wrong. Have you seen people use it wrong?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's stay tuned. She's the CEO.
He's the marketing and operations guy.
If it's broken, you need
The business fix.
So we are to episode 15.
We are.
So now we can get Lindsay to listen, because this is someone that we both know that won't listen to any podcast until they're to episode 15.
Yes. Is this the arrival point too? Have we made it?
We've officially made it.
If we get to the next one, I'll be excited.
Right. Have your people call my people to set up the next one.
Absolutely.
We also today, you had your son doing manual labor at your office.
Correct.
And I get a text message saying, hey, he's coming along because I don't have time to take him home.
No.
And so now he's hanging out outside the studio with my intern.
He's a hostage.
They're hanging out there, probably both looking at each other like, oh God, why do we have to sit here?
Yep. One of them is getting compensated. The other one is a total hostage. He'll be fine.
Right. Yeah. No, I think he'll get over it.
Mom makes me do all these things. He got paid at the office. We should just suck it up. He'll be
right.
fine. Yeah.
Right. No, this is just, it's part of it. This is the commute.
Life of family business.
This is the commute. What else is going on? Anything good or no?
Looking forward to Maddie's gonna be coming home soon. So it's been great. We've survived the 6 weeks.
You have to stop going to the store and buying boxes of Kleenex every day.
I'm doing pretty good. In fact, she didn't call us a couple days ago and it was like, oh my gosh, she's fine. So we went to visit her. She's good. I'm doing all right.
I love it. That's to me, it says so many things, and they're all good, all very good.
Yeah. So what's going on with you, Josh?
I got word that I am getting my van back after like a month, when a piece of fiberglass came up off of the road and shattered the windshield. And yeah, it was I've had like the past week or two has been bad. The van, the flat tire on the motor, everything I touch turns to
sage your stuff.
I'm just gonna no. So let's talk about AI, because that I don't know if I can break that. Maybe I can, maybe I can't.
I think you could if you tried.
This is no longer just for the big game, so to say.
Not at all.
You do not need to be Fortune 500, Fortune 1000, anyone like that to be an AI. We see kids using it all the time.
Yep.
We see grown adults using it all the time, in a lot of cases incorrectly.
Very much so.
But it's the accessibility, the power of it, everything like that. It's revolutionizing in a lot of ways. I want to look at some practical applications.
Okay.
Some of the power of AI in marketing. And I mean, with great power comes great responsibility. And a large portion of the population has proven how irresponsible they are.
Yes, they're creating trash. Let's just be honest.
Correct. AI as a strategic partner. And navigating the nuances. That's because nuance is I'm all about subtle and nuanced.
Sure. Said no one to you ever.
Correct. We've got the Wild West.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways that you're seeing small businesses? I mean, you're exposed to more small businesses than I am. What are the ways they are adopting not just AI, but like looking at things for growth and innovation with that?
Yeah. So I think the biggest shift I'm seeing with small businesses and smarter businesses is that it's what they're doing with AI. It's how they think about it. Are we using it as a tool? Are we using it as a replacement? I mean, the ones that I see thriving are using AI more as an assistant. It's not a replacement. It's there to augment. It's there to kind of work with the individuals within the organization to help make them better. And they're building cultures where curiosity is rewarded and experimentation is safe. And so that's, I think, the biggest thing is that as you're starting to look at different types of AI, how to build it into your organization, I mean, you're going to have to stink at it for a while. So that's the other part is you've really got to be willing to kind of like mess around. I say FAFO, but that's like the term in AI at this point in time. And so you kind of have to work through it and kind of know, yeah, some things I'm not going to do well. Other things are going to be great. Don't put it in your marketing until it's great. That's it. I mean,
it's funny. I guessed it on a podcast the other day, and I said, you have to be willing to suck.
Yeah, you do. Really bad for a while. It's like when you ride a bike, when you learn anything new, like you start to lift weights at the gym, you decide you're going to do a new sport, you take up painting, like you're awful. You're going to be awful at it. Everybody's awful for a minute, and then you get better. And the adoption curve, I think that's part of it too, is people forget about the adoption curve, that you're going to be awful at the beginning, and then you're going to get better at it. And then you have to maintain getting better at it, because you can't just say, oh, I've arrived and we know how to do basic things, like how to sculpt a prompt, how to use, what is the right tool for some of the things that you're doing. I mean, ChatGPT is great, but it's not the be all and end all of everything. They want to be, but it's not. And sometimes your organization needs something different. I think the other part is, you really need to start creating a space. If you haven't already, or if you're starting to adopt with AI, your leadership needs to be willing to talk about it, but then you also have to be willing to talk about it from a values perspective, in the why are we doing this? Because you have the ability to freak people out in your organization very quickly, because they will go, oh my gosh, we're looking at adopting all of this. It does everything on my job does. They're going to replace me with a robot. And it's like, no, first of all, someone has to operate that robot. But second of all, it means that you're going to be able to do other things, and we can focus and we can grow at a faster pace. So it's really the conversation about, yeah, we're going to be awful at this for a minute, but let's not be afraid of it either.
It's interesting you say that, because to me, one of the other things that I see with it is that they talk about eliminating jobs in larger organizations.
Mm-hmm. And it is.
And it 100% is. In smaller organizations, it's just going to mean that we can do more.
Yes. It's super exciting for someone who has a lot of projects that she wants to get done, and budget and people are expensive.
Right. I'm not firing my social media manager.
Absolutely
I'm not
not
firing my editor.
No.
They are able to do more, though.
Mm-hmm.
That is the key that I really like to see in all that.
Yes. I think it's the expectation too, that I'm going to expect you to use these tools and to do more. I think this has been said in a lot of other places, but look, we can say it too, is that AI is not here. In my organization, AI is not here to replace people. But if you absolutely refuse to learn and grow with it, I will probably have to replace you with someone who's willing to use AI and willing to use the tools that we have in our organization to grow. It's more about culture and perspective. And that's a right person, right seat thing. That's not, we're going to completely get rid of our people, we're automating them out of relevance. No, people are still extremely relevant. The human part of connection in business still exists, and it's going to exist forever. And that's something that we need to maintain.
It's interesting you say the human part, because I just watched a seminar today from HeyGen.
Okay.
Which they do a lot of the AI avatars and stuff like that. And it's 20 times better than it was even a year ago.
It is. In
the same sense, if it was, I can tell as a video person, and I'm weird. Is there are certain cues that it's missing.
Mm-hmm.
If the person was only on the screen for a second or two at the time, I could be fooled with it. But when it's 5, 10, 15 seconds, and that to me is that human piece that is going to be very, very difficult to replicate. In the same sense, something that I've kind of coined that I see, and I still see it in a lot in the greater picture of it, AI in some ways is going to do for knowledge work what Henry Ford did for blacksmiths.
Yes.
Now, we do still have blacksmiths. We do still have craftsmen, but a lot of those blacksmiths learned how to do other things. Mm-hmm. Many blacksmiths became mechanics.
Yeah. Many
of them learned how to fix cars instead of just reshoe horses or to remake wagon wheels. Mm-hmm. So there's an adaptation that I think the people will need to make. And you spoke to that about look, you need to adapt. You need to learn how to use this. The thing that I love about it is it allows you to kind of take off some of that repetitive stuff.
Yes.
And work on the creative stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Keeping you so that you can do your most human work. So connection, creativity, and coaching. Those are the three things.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Now, what's interesting is like we use an AI tool that we've built in the business to help with podcast coaching.
Yeah.
And I coach a lot of people on their podcast on how to present, how to speak, how to do a terrible hook like what we do.
Correct. Fantastic.
Those types of, there is zero AI involved in the hook. In fact, in most cases, like our initial hook is me just off the cuff saying, oh, here's what we're going to do and buckle up.
Yeah.
At which point you usually wince and kind of like,
okay, all right.
What are we doing here? But really it's about letting people go back to that creative space instead of that repetitive space. And it allows them, with that coach that I've built, it brings up points that I may not have thought of.
Yeah.
But if I just told you in AI language, hey, do this, 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 and this, you're going to be like, jerk.
Yeah. But.
Right. But when it's presented in a constructive manner, now, can you get AI to speak in that way? Yes. But there's still something about that hand delivery that, hey, let's try this. Let's do this. I can see your reaction. And then I can react to that and be like, oh, Chrissy's getting ready to stab me.
Yeah.
Let's maybe roll that back a little bit.
You can build some of the interpersonal effectiveness into the AI chatbot. You can do some of that, but the nuance of being able to understand body language, it's still not good at that. And it's not going to be. And I think you can look at it as it's a first draft. It's helping you when you've got a little less brain space to kind of work on things. And I need a summary, or I need a jumping off point, or I need a thought partner. There are some studies around, how people can kind of get a little more lazy when they're using AI. So I think it's really important that you remain engaged, remain focused. You can't just like turn your brain off and just turn it all over to a computer. It's not going to be a good idea. But yeah, I think you're making a lot of sense here with, it's saving time. We use it to some degree in helping with hiring. Part of it is, we need to scrub resumes, and we've got lots of different tools that we use, but then, what we do internally is a little bit different. So using AI to kind of help with the first or the second iteration of trying to create a uniform process, I think is really helpful. Same thing with onboarding. I would say it can be helpful as far as, I don't remember all the steps that we have. Okay, AI, tell me what you think all these steps are. And then it's a jumping off point of like, oh, wait. Yeah, I should make sure that they have keys to the building. Oh, yeah, I should make sure that they have a login. Like if you've never written a standard operating procedure before, an SOP, it's a great place to kind of start thinking through those things. It doesn't mean it's going to be that's what I would say first. If you're going to use it, it's not the end case the first time you get like an answer.
No.
I've got an SOP for how I'm going to do this. Here we go. And it's like, it doesn't answer any of that. Like it's about running a milkshake shop. It's not about running an insurance agency. That's not like, you've got to make sure that you feed it correctly. And then you've got to revise. Like you cannot be, you've got to be an editor of everything.
It's funny. A piece of advice I was given about AI a long time ago when I first started using it was telling it to ask me questions.
Yes.
That is the biggest thing that suddenly was a huge unlock for me. And then it became conversational for me.
Yes.
So now I am instead of me saying, do the thing for me. Now it's, really it's if you or I are sitting across from the table from each other and saying, hey, what do you think about this? Then it gives me that, which strikes an idea for me with this. So then I say, hey, what about that, that, and that? Then it says, well, hey, don't do that, that. So once again, it becomes this conversation.
Yeah.
That I couldn't necessarily have otherwise. You would probably get upset if I call you at like 1 o'clock in the morning when an idea comes to me. So I go to Gemini and say, hey, look, here's my idea. Why is this stupid? And it'll tell me. And
well, and it's nice to have a dialogue thought partner. I think that a lot of times, especially as small business owners, there's some things that you can talk with another business owner in a cohort of other business owners, but there's some things that you necessarily don't want to say. So it gives you the ability, hey, I need you to act like a coach and kind of walk me through this issue I'm dealing with. Hey, I'd like to kind of be a thought partner. Jeff Woods wrote a book called The AI Driven Leader. It's a great starting point for people who are like, I don't know what to do with AI. Like, I don't even know why I should use it, especially as a CEO or someone who's in management. That book is really impactful in just telling you, there are use cases. It's not just about, I'm going to write my social media content, probably be awful at it. But I mean, how are we going to write this sales process? Or we're going to document this SOP. There are lots of different ways that you can walk through and use AI as a strategic tool to grow your business.
I love how you put the things that you don't want to say, because that's very true.
Yeah.
I made in a speech that I have done, I talked about like how business owners, you're at a networking event. And how's business? Great. I don't know how I'm going to make payroll this week, but awesome. You're just not going to talk with people about stuff.
No.
And to be able to, now, once again, you have to watch with the data, what data you're giving them.
Yeah.
But to dump your general ledger maybe into AI and say, where am I spending too much money? Where am I not getting that return on investment?
Yeah.
Once again, that's something, sure, you can talk about it with your accountant. Maybe you don't have an accountant. Maybe you can't afford an accountant.
Maybe you need to interview new accountants.
Maybe you
to
need
help
to
you.
interview that. We should talk about that. I believe that may be another topic. You should interview your accountant, not just be like, look someone up in the phone book and see AAA accounting and be like, oh, first ones. The thing that, speaking of the data stuff, is I have found huge value in the data analysis. You need to double check it.
It hallucinates if you're not careful.
Correct. You need to be very specific and double check it. But to dump in items from like sales receipts and say, look, to dump in expenses and be like, I mean, just where's my biggest expense? Those types of questions are amazing to be able to ask it. The same thing for like with podcasts. Once again, I'm going to say, we look at like who speaks the most. I haven't done it for ours because I'm afraid to. It's going to be like, shut up, Josh. But you can do stuff like that to really do that data analysis that otherwise, like we would be going through a transcript and saying 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds.
I'm not doing that.
7 seconds.
It's
no one wants to do that. I pop that in, and we've written a GPT about it. Yep, pop that in. It's going to give us the information, and it's going to break it down by who said what, who said positive things, who said negative things, what was productive, what wasn't. I mean, we're looking at all of that. And once again, I'm not using that as the be all end all.
No,
I'm using that as that go look here. Yeah, for sure. One thing that you've touched on multiple times is AI marketing.
Yes.
A show a little while ago, last week tonight. I don't know if you've ever watched that.
No, I haven't.
John Oliver hosts it. It's HBO.
Okay.
It is rather entertaining, little bit satirical. He did a whole episode about AI slop.
Oh.
It was brutal.
I need to watch this.
It was absolutely brutal, but it's interesting. We use AI to help us with podcasts and to help us with descriptions and stuff like that. It gives us an outline. It gives us a direction. It gives us a base.
Yes.
A very, very solid base. And in a lot of cases, it's more of a solid base than we would do just by listening to the episode one or two times. But we have to build off of that.
You do.
We have to make sure that we're looking at original ideas.
Don't get lazy.
No. It becomes an issue because the problem is if you're just regurgitating AI stuff back to AI, into AI, and then hoping that AI is going to pick it up and put it in the AI answers in Google or in ChatGPT, probably not.
No, thank you for the circle of crap. Yes.
Correct.
That's it. That's
Correct.
it. How do you know someone is just always using AI and using it wrong? It's stupid rocket ship in everybody's social media posts. Now, granted, I have a few of them too because I'm still learning. But like, have you seen that?
Yeah.
You can tell. You just know. It doesn't sound anything like them.
Correct.
You've got, even if it's just a prompt of like, hey, I need you to write a social media post about this. you've got to read it and you've got to make sure it's correct and it's in your voice. And if it refers to, I mean, like if it refers to your kids as like Mason and Chloe, and I'm like, no, that's Maddie and Caleb, we got a problem. Like, you've got to be right. You can't be wrong.
The other piece to that is Bill Snow loves it when I mention the Late to Grid podcast on any show that I'm on.
I'm
So
sure.
we're going to call this one out. And it's an automotive racing podcast. You can we've given it all of their information. We've given it all of their posts. We've given it all the information. Racers still talk a certain way.
Yeah. And that's you confuse the AI. Is
Right.
what you're telling me.
Well, no, what happens is it still doesn't do racer speak.
Oh.
So it will, like, the way we're using it is AI takes it and gives us a base for the post. Megan, the social media manager, then she starts to rework it and then puts it in something that she's like, okay, this is good. And then I say, okay, these 2 or 3 words we may want to change into racer language because I've got an automotive background.
Yeah.
But once again, we had to go through 3 iterations of this. We have if we didn't have AI, the difference with that is Megan's now sitting there looking at this like, what the hell am I going to say about this?
Yeah.
Now it's a click away and she's got a base to build off of. It may have started out as an A-frame and now it's an Adobe hut. Yes.
But it's optimizing and it's taking time away from having to do some of that tedious work. So, I mean, it's making you a better human as you work through things, I think, if you use it right way.
I'm just glad you called me human.
And saving headache time too, or frustration
100%.
time. Or also, we talked about procrastination in a past episode. It can help prevent some of that procrastination too.
Yes.
When you're like, I don't want to do it. You know what? I can use ChatGPT to at least get me started. And then it's like, oh, I can, like, I'm doing a lot of content curriculum writing right now for a leadership training program that I'm putting together. And there've been a couple of times where I'm like, I don't want to do this. It's like, oh, I've got the outline. Let's do some deep research and let's pull some different things that I need to do, some different sources, some different facts. And then I can start. And immediately I can go from, I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to work on this for 10 minutes and I'm an hour in. And I'm like, wow, I don't want to be done, but I need to. So I can think it's super helpful to me.
And I'm old enough to remember when I had to go to the encyclopedia to find information.
And put everything on note cards. Do you remember note cards for
Correct.
For presentations and term papers?
Correct. Correct.
Same.
Just the high-pitched voice that you used for saying that tells me the pain that was involved with it.
All the things. Having to write a thesis, doing your senior thesis on, oh my gosh, doing your grad work with the library. I mean, we had the internet. It got easier as I got older, but my gosh, like, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a big change.
Yeah.
One thing that let's talk about just for a few minutes, the ethics of this.
Okay. Sure.
I mean, with you being HR,
yeah,
ethics is kind of in your wheelhouse.
It's there.
What are some of the, like, when you're trying to implement this in your business? I know what one of the obvious ones is, but what are some things that you consider, like, ethically when you're doing this?
When I look at ethics for AI, part of it is also how do we create psychological safety around it with our people?
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, because you've already got some fear around like job replacement.
Yep.
But then, I mean, there's a lot of people, we use AI note-taking apps and different things in different meetings. People use those. They could use them in interviews. They can use them in different types of discussions. You should always assume that you're being recorded from now on, moving forward, not because people are nefarious, but because some stuff is just automatically recording you and it's annoying and you don't even know how to turn it off. Like there was an update to Zoom a couple of weeks ago where it's like, now all of a sudden it's got an AI assistant. I didn't ask you to be an assistant for me. I didn't ask you to record, but now it's recording every meeting. So I think being able to give psychological safety, you know, how do we have good conversations? How do we make sure that we're truly listening to people and hearing what is the underlying issue that they have? Is it a fear response? Is it a response of I have apprehension around trying something new because what happens if I'm not good at it? That's a different conversation. And then also, I mean, do I think that it's good that someone should be able to take every note and every conversation we've had in meetings and try to like turn it into a deposition? That's kind of scary. So I think there's the ethics around it. There's also the legalities around it. But I think the first one is, how do we create safety for our people?
Let's be honest. You did not start your business so you could spend your days buried in HR paperwork or Googling how to handle employee drama.
That's why I started Clarity HR. We're your fractional HR team giving you real people, real support, and real solutions. Whether it's compliance headaches, hiring struggles, or just needing someone to take the people stuff off your plate, we've got your back.
So if you're ready to stop using duct tape and hope as your HR strategy
and finally get some peace of mind, head over to clarityhr.com. That's clarityhr.com. Simple, clear, and here to help.
I'll give you a few seconds to go to the website while we get ready to get back to the show. It's interesting you say that because the other day, I had a conversation with someone who was wearing Meta glasses. And I didn't say much.
No.
I just kind of sat there and was like, oh. Yeah, obviously if it compares it out there, my voice is recognizable enough that it's going to be like, that was Josh.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm like, yeah, no, it's not going to get that much information from me. And I was a little uncomfortable by it. And I mean, you've heard me say this. I have spent enough time on camera that I have absolutely no dignity.
Getting there.
Right. But sitting there realizing that this could be like uploading and analyzing constantly, I was kind of like, I'm going to go ahead and be quiet.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure that's going to cause everyone in my family to go out and buy those glasses now. It'll take family arguments down a couple of notches. What do you see as we move forward? What do you see the role of humans when it comes to oversight? As AI, I mean, we've watched it jump from point A to point B. I mean, actually from point A to point Q.
Yeah.
In the past year.
It's super fast.
What do you feel that role of human oversight is?
I think there's going to be several things, and we can probably go to the furry edge and like get bunkers in our basement, we could get really paranoid really fast. I choose not to
steal ones that are Faraday cages.
I choose not to do that right now. I think part of it is pulling together with your leadership team or actually, if we go even more macro level at a leadership level, what does workforce look like? What are the things that are going to be uniquely human that we're always going to keep? What are the things that should not ever be used as a use case for AI? I think there's some definite, from a criminal standpoint, things can get very, very ugly very fast, especially with images and what you could do potentially with children. I think that we're going to see humans holding the line on what is and is not okay in the confines of the law. What scares me right now is that technology is outpacing legislation. And so there's a few things that I think could be very difficult. So it's like, just because you can robocall 1 million people a minute, do you really think you should? I'm going to tell you right now, insurance people, don't F it up for the rest of us. Because I know there's one of you, like George in Kansas, who's like, I'm going to call everyone. And we're going to wind up with major legislation and fines and penalties because somebody does something stupid. Because they just, they could. So there's that piece.
They can't control themselves.
Yeah. The other part is there's ethics also around, once AI gets to the point where it can truly think for itself, is it a thing? And I think that's something that like the religious community is going to have to deal with. I think it's something that legislators are going to have to deal with. We'll probably talk about it at some point. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think I'm just kind of waiting. I have a feeling it's already happened and we just don't know it yet.
No, I kind of, it's one of those things that I'm looking at as there is not much that I can do about it except control my reactions to it.
Correct.
And do what I can to try and react in a manner that allows me to not only survive, but sleep at night.
Yes. Because you make a good point. We're not just talking, yes, it's technology, but at the end of the day, we're talking about disruption. And disruption, regardless of how you've seen it in the past, it's still disruption. So I think that's something when people are like, no, it's AI. And it's like, oh, no. I mean, political pendulum, change in technology, a major pandemic, those are all disruption. And how we handle disruption, how we deal with change management, I think is what's really important.
It's interesting the way you said that, because that makes me think of 3 other things.
Okay.
Those 3 things made me think of one other thing, I guess I would say, is the disruption is scary as hell.
Yeah.
Buckle up. In the same sense, what's interesting about it is I've been thinking of the disruption of technology throughout the years.
Mm-hmm.
That was slow. This is very, very, very fast. The internet it took years for it to come online. This feels like this is going to take a year or 2.
I think we're going to have fast adoption, and then we're going to have to deal with infrastructure not being able to be capable to keep the adoption moving.
I think you're right there. And that, to me, though, what's interesting is I had been looking at it kind of in a vacuum, like, this is big disruption. And it is.
Yes.
But like you said, elections. I mean, there's other countries that have fallen and people have survived.
Yep.
There's the pandemic. There was the Great Recession. We're still here.
We've dealt with world wars. We've dealt with, major geological disasters. Yeah.
We're still here.
We are. It just may look different. I mean, that's the hard part. And I think that's where.
And we don't know what it looks like.
Yes.
We've got an idea. But that could still take a sharp left or right turn at any point.
Correct.
And so we think we're headed towards a vacation at the beach, but we've never been to the beach, so we don't necessarily know what it looks like.
No. So as you careen towards your existential crisis, I would encourage you to get some resilient skills.
I love that. I love that. There's a book out about that, isn't there?
Yeah, reluctantly resilient.
Yeah, no, we'll have to talk about that one of these days. To give the quick wrap on what we've talked about so far. So identify low risk, prioritize the unique pieces and personal experiences over generic. Mm-hmm. Develop a clear usage policy for your team. Ethical guidelines, data privacy, make sure you're sticking within those. We talked about training and mainly the planning.
It's planning.
Make sure you've got a plan. And also make sure you mentioned too AI tools. It's not just ChatGPT and Gemini.
No.
There's so many tools out there that are built off of those.
Correct. And finding the right one.
Yeah. Make sure you're using the right ones. So to our quick shot, last kind of the 2 questions that we do at the end. Mm-hmm. What's one crucial area small businesses might be underestimating the impact of AI, either positively or negatively? Because let's face it, there's good and bad here. Yeah.
So I would say it's delegation. So when AI takes the task and the person doesn't get clarity on why, you're creating confusion and disconnection. So you use AI to create space, not silence, and use it to delegate.
Yeah. That makes 100% sense.
Yeah. So question for you, and I think we've talked about it already, but I'm asking you again, what's the one thing you find scary? The biggest one.
The biggest one is the speed of the change. This is, like I said, buckle up. Yeah. Speed has never killed anyone. Stopping is what kills people.
Yeah.
And, or rapid changes in direction. And that is the worry. And it's not, we're using AI, we're working with AI. We've got all sorts of tools with that. I feel comfortable with AI. I worry about the larger economy that I can't necessarily help or dictate or control.
Yeah.
What happens to that? Because if that starts to go, well, then we're all having a bad day.
It's okay. We pivot and we figure things out. That's it.
100%.
You have to figure things out. And remember that as much as that there's velocity to some of these things, there are also things that are always going to stay the same.
100%. And like you did it. I loved how you talked about it earlier, the human connection with that. And I feel the same way. It's it's one of the reasons why I love podcasting.
Yeah.
we're humans.
Yes.
We're honestly human. As I said at
Yes.
the beginning of the show, if this was an avatar, I would have made him much smarter and much better looking. That being said, to everyone out there listening, make sure that you are harnessing AI correctly
Yes.
in your business. Thank you for your insights on that, Chrissy. There's some awakenings even for me in this.
Yeah. This is like part 1. I feel like we're going to talk about AI like
every
a
couple of
lot.
weeks.
Yeah.
We'll have more information if you want more information about the show, everything else, businessfixpodcast.com. Also, make sure you follow The Business Fix on all the socials. A review and a subscription go a long way into helping us reach more business owners, helping more people out like yourself. Next week, this is a topic that you came up with, and I love it.
Thanks.
We're going to talk about, are you working on your business or are you working on your busyness? I feel cheesy saying that, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, if you can, make sure you take care of yourself. If you can, take care of someone else too. We will see you very soon.